Who had the better 2023 season? Davius Richard, the Celebration Bowl champion, Celebration Bowl MVP, or Shedeur Sanders, who won the Deacon Jones Trophy for the best black college football player in the country? Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsyJr. YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, today, I'm here to talk about who had the better 2023 season, Shedeur Sanders or Davius Richard. Now, why is this even a thing? Well, I'll tell you why. Because for 2 whole days, I watched on Twitter, maybe 3, I don't know. I watched it was like a long time, it felt like forever. The North Carolina Central diehard alum, football alum, all that stuff, Mr. HBCU Nightly himself, Joshua Sims, went at it against Miss JSU herself, Miss Timona, a.k.a. She Loves Thee. And they went back and forth about who had the better 2023 season. Josh made valid points because Davius, at the end of the day, is the Celebration Bowl champion, and he was the MVP of that game. He played a flawless game. But then he had Shedeur, who had pretty much a flawless season, including the Celebration Bowl, where he threw for 4 touchdowns. And even though they lost, they still put up 40 points. And it was a great debate. And it was old school. It was both of them had points. Other one, they had counterpoints and counterpoints on top of counterpoints. And I just loved it. And if you want to go see it, go follow HBCU Nightly. Go follow She Loves D on all their platforms. They do great stuff. Now, here is my little 2 cents. Just going to chip in a little bit. First, I want to show you guys something. Hold on. I thought this was interesting because I wanted to make sure I showed, and I'm going to be using this, that Colorado actually shouted Shedeur out for winning the Deacon Jones Trophy. He says, congratulations, Shedeur Sanders, the Black College Hall of Fame, Black College Football Player of the Year. Shedeur Sanders, obviously they got to show him in his Colorado gear. They show him in his Jackson gear. It's like, yeah, he went out there, but he's with us now. This is also what your new quarterback buffs. He got more accolades coming in, even though it's February and they're giving out this award. I guess they want to give it out around the time of the HBCU Legacy Bowl, but it seems like a little long time to wait on a postseason award. Nonetheless, number 2 is the winner, Shedeur Sanders, and he got a special shout out from Colorado. Now, I want to show you guys something. This was tweeted by Josh. Once again, Mr. HBCU Nightly himself. Now, first of all, I got to show, because Josh was like the number 1 guy defending, not necessarily. Obviously, he's always going to defend his school as he should, and they're the champs. I mean, he's doing victory laps on top of victory laps because his team the champs. I had to eat crow today, the championship game. A lot of us had to eat crow because we didn't pick North Carolina Central. And it wasn't like I didn't think North Carolina Central couldn't play. I just didn't think they'd win the game. It was but I was wrong. So, therefore. But SWAC Buzz, shout out to SWAC Buzz, cool dude. But he did say something. He was tweaking a little bit. He was tweaking. Just call it what it is. SWAC Buzz said he don't think Davius Richard has a pro career. He'll have a pro career at quarterback. And then this is what he said. He said, you have to be a threat at passing to be a dual threat. I like Davius a lot. Very good athlete and can play on Sundays. But he's going to have to switch positions to get to the NFL. Shedeur isn't. That's the truth. Ooh. But I like it, SWAC. Mr. Buzz. I like it. If that's how you feel, stand on that. He didn't retract. He didn't go back on it. He might have to eat crow if it's wrong. But if you got a hot take or a strong opinion, man, stand on that opinion. Now, obviously, Josh wasn't feeling this. Josh wasn't feeling this. So this is what Josh had to say. 22,648 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 64% completion percentage, plus 800 rushing yards, 15 rushing touchdowns. It's the definition. of a dual threat quarterback. Don't do this because I like Swag Buzz. Real talk. Now, that wasn't the original tweet I was going to show. I just like how Josh came out and listed them stats. But Josh also did some more stat listing in the comparison between Shedeur and Davius Richards. So this is also what Mr. Sims, Mr. HBCU Nightly himself had to say. I don't remember. Ken said something. I don't. He said, "Well, we can actually read what Ken said." He says, "We not debating the game, meaning the Celebration Bowl. Actually, we're not even debating the award. It's no slight to your quarterback. He's good. Number 2 had a better statistical year. Games are team wins and losses, which is debatable." And then Mr. HBCU Nightly himself said, depends on how you look at it. Total yards too similar. 3,421 total yards for Davius versus 3,861 total yards for Shedeur. 40 total touchdowns for Davius versus 46 total touchdowns for Shedeur. PS wins and losses is a quarterback stat, by the way, which it technically is. We only count wins and losses for head coaches and quarterbacks. So Josh is right. But I also think now I don't think Josh ever. Now I could be wrong because I may have didn't see every single mess. He was going at it with any and everybody. He had smoke for all of them. But I don't think Josh ever actually said that Davius deserved the award over Shedeur. I don't think he actually ever said that. I think he was just getting at the fact that I think somebody else actually said Davius might have deserved the award. And Josh was like, yeah, he did deserve it. But I'm not saying he should have won it over Shedeur, but he had every right to be in the mention. And then that's when it all kind of got. And I could be wrong. Y'all can correct me in the chat and correct me in the comments. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I got they was doing this for 2 days. But if you just look at this, what he's saying in this tweet, I think it's why you got to give it to Shedeur. If you just look at this tweet, because first of all, Shedeur had more total yards. Shedeur had more total touchdowns, and Shedeur's team had more total wins. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Head to head, Davius' team won. Head to head, Davius' team won. But Shedeur's team 12-1. They were the number 1 HBCU all year up until the game that mattered the most. They were number 1 all year. They had one of the top-ranked offenses all year. He threw for 40 touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions. He threw 40 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. He had 46 total touchdowns and less than 10 turnovers the whole entire year. That's pretty freaking impressive. That's pretty freaking nice. Now, don't get it. Don't. Y'all know I love me some Davius Richard. Yeah, he even came on this show. He's been on here. I interviewed Davius before, so trust me. Y'all know I think he's a stud. He's a baller. But he had 10 interceptions, and he had 15 or so less passing touchdowns than Shedeur. Now, the award isn't the passing touchdown leader award. It's about the best college football player in Black college football for the year. And I think it was rightfully deserved by Shedeur. I think Shedeur had the best. I mean, he had the best statistical season. His team had the best record. His team had the best win, the most wins. Now, of course, head to head, Davius won. Davius got the final, the last laugh, the game that matters the most. Out of all them numbers, out of all them stats, out of all them games, the one that mattered the most was the Celebration Bowl. And that trophy resides in Durham, North Carolina, on the campus of North Carolina Central University. So Davius, Coach Oliver, and those guys, they got the final laugh. But if we're just talking about the Deacon Jones Award, it was Shedeur's. He rightfully won it. He rightfully won it. And that's why they gave him the award. Because 40 touchdowns passing, only 6 interceptions, another 6 touchdowns rushing. It's a pretty great year. All on a team. I don't think they had a receiver that went over 1,000 yards. You're doing all of that while you don't have a receiver that goes over 1,000 yards. Now, what I thought was interesting was SWAC Buzz saying that he doesn't think Davius will be an NFL quarterback. He thinks he has to improve passing. But here's the thing. I don't agree with SWAC Buzz on that, but I do think Davius has to continue to develop as a passer. Here's why. Because there have been guys who put up even better numbers than Davius at what we would consider higher levels of football than Davius, meaning just a Power 5, that had to fight a stigma of being dual threat because they ran a lot, sometimes even more than they passed in certain games. Now, obviously, Davius didn't run more on the entirety of the season than he passed, but just using small sample sizes. Heck, we can even use the Celebration Bowl. He ran 22 times. He only passed the ball 20 times. Now, obviously, the NFL is becoming more and more dual threat each and every single day. We're seeing more and more NFL quarterbacks that look like me and you than looks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. That's just how the world is changing, how the world is evolving. And being a dual threat, being able to use your legs is more of a benefit than a detriment. That's why during the season, I always gave Shedeur props, because he wasn't as much of a statue than he used to be. From his freshman year to sophomore year, I said Shedeur's biggest growth, he always was accurate. He was always very smart and intelligent and didn't turn the ball over. But at times he was a statue as a freshman. And then during his sophomore year, he showed his ability to be mobile, not necessarily always scrambling, but even mobility within the pocket, moving away from pressure better. Now, obviously, they had a better offensive line, but still, his mobility, what to me was his biggest sign of growth. Now, Davius has the mobility thing on lock. Davius has the rushing ability on lock. But when you come from what is considered a lower tier of football, just being an FCS, not necessarily just saying HBCU, but being an FCS program, even a dominant program, a good program, you are going to have to show off your passing skills more so than the next guy. Davius is clearly the preseason favorite to win the Deacon Jones Award for the 2023 season. Yeah, because that was the 22 season. So for the 2023 season, but he's going to have to continue to move up draft boards. And this is a guy that we hope to get drafted because he's very, very talented. And you want to see your best of the best, your most talented guys get drafted. That way it shows other super talented guys that, hey, you can come to our schools in the MEAC, the SWAC, the CIAA, SIAC, or wherever, and still get drafted. Go perform at places like the HBCU Combine, the HBCU Legacy Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. And so we want Davius Richards to get drafted. We want Davius Richards to get drafted. But he will have to continue to improve as a passer. Get that quarterback, that completion percentage up from 64% to 68%. 69%, somewhere hover 68, 69%. Showing off because Davius can throw. I mean, Davius can throw. If you don't think Davius can't throw, you ain't watching no games for North Carolina Central. He can throw. Heck, he picked on Travis a couple of times in the Celebration Bowl. The man can throw. But he's going to have to continue to show that, continue to elevate, and continue to show that he can continue to develop as a passer. And in, his rushing ability, it speaks for itself. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's 6'3", 215, but he's strong as hell. He doesn't go down on first contact, and he's very, very hard to bring to the ground. He'll be the preseason favorite for this very same award next year. Well, this year, after this fall. They'll award it in 2024, but you get what I'm saying. But for the 2022 season, Shedeur Sanders had a better season. That's just my little 2 cents. I don't know. Y'all can hate me, love me, whatever for it. But that's my opinion. Shedeur had the better 2022 season, but Davius got the last laugh. Davius, Coach Trey Oliver, and the good folks over North Carolina Central in Durham, North Carolina, got the last laugh. I got one more thing before I get out of here. Once again, you're listening to the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your podcast. Hit that thumbs up button, by the way. Hit that thumbs up, like and share. I do have this one thing I do have to show you. People are like, oh, you hating again. I just want to throw this out here. We talked about on this show about the dangers of the rhetoric that Deion Sanders, Shedeur's father, was putting out about his recruiting practices at Colorado. And a lot of folks telling me I was hating, but it is what it is. Well, ESPN analyst and a former NFL veteran, Marcus Spears, said, this ish ain't funny. Because it ain't. That's all I got to say. Hit that thumbs up button before you get out of here. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcast. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. The follow is right there at JLightsy7. I'm trying to push out more and more content on my Instagram. On Twitter, I'm on there every day, so you can shoot me a message, send me funny content, whatever you think is cool, whatever you want me to cover. You can put it in the comments or shoot me a DM over on those platforms. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.